It's not us, that's you. So the fact that, you have faith and you trust us, we're appreciative of that. And, it's obviously been a great experience for us last year and starting off this year. So I just wanted to start off by saying thank you, because I think that's important. We're in this together. And I also thought it was pretty interesting if I sat here and I shared some of the goals that I walk through with our team. Every 45 to 60 days, we sit down as a team and review some goals. And most of them are sort of near-term goals. But this one slide, I always keep in that because I want to, have our team continually aware of what are the long-term goals, what are the big goals that we're trying to achieve here. And I just wanted to share them with you as well, just so that you understand our perspective and all we're trying to do. And you can see some of this, we want to ensure that products like Hub and Flight, are an integral part of employees' lives. We want them in there and using the platform every single day. We want to continually expand the functionality and continually expand the mobile functionality. So that is sort of one of our high-arching goals. And I think, one of the other things is you'll see under that is we want to continually impress you with the level of service that we provide. We're in this together. I keep on saying that we're in this together, and we want to take all of your feedback constructively, right? Because that's what you're telling us, what you want and what you need. So we review this as a team, and it's just a quick reminder that every time we get requests, and we get a lot of them, but they're great because it's really you telling us what you want and what you need. The other thing is, I don't think we can ever just do everything ourselves, and we need to continually expand our footprint in the payroll industry. And most importantly there, what I'm talking about is finding ways to work with other vendors that maybe you have relationships with, for the betterment of everybody. And what you're going to see is with one of our features that are going to come out here in the first quarter, that's a great example of that. And the last thing, this goes without saying, we all want to have this continually, is just continually improve our security and infrastructure. So again, I share this slide with our team every 45 to 60 days, but I thought it might just be important to kind of walk through that with you as well. Again, these are the important goals, the overarching goals of what we're trying to achieve. And I keep on saying that we're in this together, and I sort of like this quote here from John Wooden that says, anything that gets in the way of cooperative attitude is counterproductive. And truly, the cooperative attitude is us and you, and your clients. How can we cooperate together to make it a great experience? And that's sort of the reason why we have a lot of these features we're going to discuss today. So while you were, pulling your hair out, dealing with end of year and generating W-2s and 1099s, and now you're doing ACA, and, again, you're scratching your head and doing all that. We, on the other hand, were doing something there. Oh, shoot, wrong one. Sorry, that's actually Rob there. But what we were really doing was we were hard at work. We were heads down. We weren't actually sitting there on the beach or on, around a pool. That was just a joke. We were heads down. We worked on a lot of different things. And I want to make sure you're aware of them. And then you're also aware of the other things that we're heads down on today. So again, we didn't take a break. We're in this together. We knew you were heads down. We didn't want to bother you with a bunch of stuff, but we were heads down building out new features and functionality. So let's talk real quick about what's available today. And I kind of laid these out based upon the different products that are there. So the first thing is, within Hub, we have our Hub Rewards application. So that gives employees access to exclusive perks and discounts on meals, entertainment, everyday services. We continually add new rewards every 2 weeks. So we want that to be fresh for the employees, never the same thing. So that's a continual effort that we make, and we made a lot. I think we're, probably about 120 or so offers that are now available out there. The second piece is the integration of Swipe Clock in Hub via our law framework. And I think that's important because, again, Hub is there to help us build a single employee universe. Hub's time and attendance system is not meant for everybody, and that's why the importance of the Swipe Clock integration is there. So that's available. That's live. You can utilize it. It's really simple and easy to set up. You can ask Swipe Clock how to do some of this. We can help you as well. We have articles on this. but it's really nicely integrated into Hub. You can see, even though it's a little screenshot, it's a complete portion of Hub. So a great piece of functionality that's available there for you. The last piece, which we're really excited about, and I will say we ran 2 tests this week with some of you, and they were completely 100% successful, is a direct integration of the employee update capability with ExecuPay. So if an employee updates their address, their W-4, their direct deposit information, and it's approved, it will automatically be sent over to ExecuPay. Nothing you need to do anymore. Huge win here, huge time saver, right? So that functionality is available. Again, we tested it with 2 different clients over the last couple of days. 100% success. Great step for everybody. We're excited that it's there. Now, one of the follow-up items we're going to give to you is one of the things you're going to need to do to ensure your environment is ready for this. So you're going to have to check with ExecuPay on that, because when we found during the integration of this, there were some settings on the ExecuPay side that needed to be configured. So we want to make sure before we schedule a time to get this into your environment that your ExecuPay environment is up to snuff with those configuration settings. And only ExecuPay knows what they are. I wish we did know what they are. Unfortunately, we don't. But really excited about this being available now. So these are some of the great enhancements to Hub. But one of the great enhancements that's really been new, it's only a couple days old right now, is in flight. And that's the capability to include check and checkbox merge tags. So what does that mean? Well, sometimes you get a document from a client for the new hire paperwork, and they just need the employee to acknowledge something and put a check mark inside of that document where they acknowledge it. Prior to this, you had to make that a yes/no question. But now you can utilize the check and checkbox merge tags. So when the employee acknowledges it in the document itself, as you can kind of see through my thing, my screen here, an actual checkbox will be checked in there. This was a great request that one of you made to us, and we're glad that it's now available because, again, I think it expands the power of custom documents that we have within Flight. We have some great resources on the check and checkbox merge tags. There's something that we'll be able to send to you after this, but it's something to keep your eye on because, again, it provides some additional functionality in Flight that some of your clients and their custom documents are going to need. So these are, again, some pretty important things that we had worked on both in December and in January. Now, there was one other important thing that we worked on in December and January, and we rolled it out to a list of alpha users. You know, these were sort of our initial users to take hold of it, to test it out, to give us feedback, to get some clients utilizing it so that we can understand what their wants and their needs were. And that is what we call employee engagement. Now, Alyssa and I joke around, it's all the rage these days, and it really is. How do you get your staff to be fully engaged in your business? Because we know engaged team members are more productive, give better client experiences. And I go back to a couple months ago at the IPPA annual conference, I was facilitating a session for small payroll providers. And the conversation could be about anything. And little did I know, or did I even think, the conversation completely focused on how you get a pulse for your employees. What are some of the perks that you can give them? What about allowing them to work remotely? How do you ensure that they're engaged? That was the entire conversation. I thought it was going to be, how do you grow your payroll sales? It wasn't. It was about your own internal staff. And at that point in time, I knew we were going to build employee engagement into Hub. So sort of the timing was perfect. But we're really excited that Hub is one of the first of its kind to include employee engagement components. Because again, we want to help you and your clients understand the pulse of their organization. So why should you care about employee engagement? It's not like it's helping you pay people. It's not like, you know, anything like that. Well, we asked Andrew King. Andrew King was one of our initial alpha users. And Andrew blatantly said, hey, this brings us into a whole new world. We're not just focusing on getting people paid and doing it accurately. We're really trying to help our clients understand more of their organization and their staff. It's exciting. This is something new. It's engaging. You know, Andrew's team uses it themselves. Our other alpha users, which was TLC payroll, they utilize it themselves as well. So I keep on talking about engagement. You're probably wondering, well, what is even involved in employee engagement? Why does it matter? There are 3 components of employee engagement that we've included in Hub. The first component, let's just start with the one in the middle, what we call scheduled check-ins. This, to me, is one of the biggest features for a business owner. I can set up a scheduled quick 1-question survey that automated each week or every 2 weeks or each month can be sent out to my staff to understand how they're feeling, what's going on. Is something or a roadblock in their way that I can help with. I can create any question I want to pose to them. We also provide a list of 10 to 15 out-of-the-box questions they can use. Now, just to give you an idea, we use scheduled check-ins internally at Shugo. So what I thought was, let me show you what happens. Now, our scheduled check-in, just so you know, is scheduled to go out every Friday afternoon at 4 o'clock. Now, I strategically chose that time because each Friday at 4:30 p.m., we as a team get together to discuss our week, see how everybody's week went, talk about what's going on the weekend. But that gave me a chance, since it went out at 4 o'clock, the scheduled check-in, to understand is anything that maybe we should talk about on that 4:30 call. So I'm going to bring over my browser here. I am going to sign into our Shugo version of Hub, because again, we use it ourselves. And what you're going to see is, when I sign in, here is the widget on the right-hand side of my screen for employee engagement. So we can see on 2/17, which was the last time our check-in went out to our team, the question was, how did your week go? Is there basically any roadblocks in front of you? And of our 5 responses, 4 of them were good, their week went good. 1, their week went great. Now because I am the administrator here, I have access to view the full detail. So I can see the average score is 3.2. Look at me, I'm the one who said my week went great. Everybody else on our team said their week went good. Now, what you can also see is sometimes when people respond to a check-in, they can put a message with their check-in. And I did one, which basically was, I was excited and I had a great week because we started our WOTC development, which I'll get to in a few minutes. But here's the value of this, right? Each week this goes out automatically. I can understand and see what's going on with everybody. I can also click on the history and see the ebb and flow over time. Hey, what's been going on in the organization over time? I can see on 210 our average answer was a 3. Wow, man, something must have happened here. Or look at the dip. Or wow, I know what this was. 113, definitely year-end. Year-end support was probably at a max level, which probably was what caused this. But again, I have this great history to see the ebb and the flows of what goes on in our organization. And again, I said check-ins are powerful. I can create check-ins and schedule them. I can also create them on demand. So you can see here, I'm going to create a new check-in. I have a list of questions. These are some of the out-of-the-box ones that we've included. Are you inspired to meet your goals at work? Are you crystal clear on your role and what you should be working on? Do you feel close with your colleagues? And you can see we have predefined answers for a number of these. So we really want to help your clients and you understand the pulse of their organizations, and check-ins are a fantastic way to do that. Now, I showed you these questions here. If I don't want any of those questions, I can easily create my own question as well. So that's the first part of employee engagement, these scheduled check-ins. It allows you to get instant 1-question feedback from your employees. That's the important part. We're not trying to take employees' time away. We're trying to give them get a quick pulse, 1 question. They can answer it from their PC. They can answer it from their phone. They don't have to worry about it. They can click right in their email and answer their question. It's fantastic. I love it. It helps me each week as an owner. Now, the second part of employee engagement that we've included is the employee recognition wall. And if you look, this is completely being talked about over and over again, how peer recognition is so important in an organization. And that's one of the components of Hub's employee engagement. It allows employees to recognize other team members for job well done. It allows every employee to see that. Employees can like recognition. They can comment on recognition. So let me show you a little bit of that. So I'm going to log in here. I'm going to log in as Samantha. So Samantha is one of our employees. This is just another version of our employee engagement. So I'm going to sign into the system. This is in our demo environment, a little bit slower, so bear with me for 2 seconds. When I get into here, what I'm going to do is go right to the area where I can click here, the little trophy that shows me the latest recognition. I'm going to actually view the full recognition wall though. So this is what it allows me to do. I can see, based upon the order that it was sent, who was recognized. So if I click on here, I can see John Busy was recognized by Jane. Great job on the Big Lots presentation. She nailed it. You know what? That's awesome. I love it. Let me like it. I've now liked that recognition. I can also come in here as an employee and comment on as well. So I'm as Samantha saying kudos. So now again, I'm interacting, I'm building this social experience, but again, it's just peer recognition. So you can see there's different filters over here, but the true value is employees recognizing each other for jobs well done. The second component of employee engagement. Now, the last component of employee engagement, I want to take everybody back about 15 years from, 15 years ago. Think back to this, right? I remember I started working in an organization and they said, Rick, listen, we love employee feedback. We love employee suggestions. So if you have a suggestion, there's this little red box in the cafeteria. It's completely anonymous. Just put your suggestion inside of there. No one will know, but we'd love to hear what you think. Well, we thought, isn't that a great thing to sort of bring into the workplace now, especially when we talk about some remote employers too? So why not build an electronic suggestion box where employees can anonymously submit suggestions to their employer? They can submit it to their manager. They could submit it to the overall company administrator. They can submit it to both. So maybe if I'm having trouble with my manager, I can go to the suggestion box, make a suggestion, but not say make it available to my manager, make it available to just the administrator. Now, suggestions are completely 100% anonymous to begin. There is no mention as to who did it. I, as an administrator or reviewer of a suggestion, can request the employee to remove their anonymity, but it's up to the employee if they want to do that or not. So this is a great mechanism to receive that feedback. Remember, go to that red box in the cafeteria, put your suggestion, same concept. So I'm going to be in here and I'm going to sign out as Samantha, and I'm going to sign in now as the company administrator, James, because I want to be James and basically be able to see all the suggestions that have been submitted by the employees of my company. I get notifications when suggestions get submitted too, so that's great. And I can always get into Hub because I'm in there anyway and look at them. So I'm going to go over to the suggestion area. I'm going to see that load. I can see I have some open and under review suggestions. I'm going to go to the suggestion box. That's important too, suggestions to get status. But here's a great one. If I click on here, this one, we can see Samantha has chosen to remove her anonymity. If I look at a different one, I can see immediately the anonymity is kept private, and that's what happens in by default. So the third component here of the suggestion box, of employee engagement, is the suggestion box, a way for employees to give anonymous feedback to their managers and the company administrator. So we're really excited about employee engagement. It's integrated directly into Hub. So we looked at what are the top 3 benefits for you. These again were from Andrew King. These were not from us saying it. Andrew said, hey, it's just more integrated into the Hub platform. It provides me an additional revenue stream. Some businesses focus 100% on employee engagement and have the features like we have. They're charging $5 to $8 per employee per month. I don't think that's realistic, but you can be charging $1 per employee per month. We're only charging 30 cents per employee per month. But so Andrew was saying this is a great new revenue stream. And again, as he mentioned in his quote before, this is a new service offering. We also asked Andrew, but what's the benefit to your client? And I thought his points were really important here. You identify for the client, they help identify trends in their company culture. They get that real, unfiltered feedback from employees, remember, because it can be anonymous. But again, it helps to build an overall team environment. So employee engagement is something that we're really excited about. It's something unique. I will tell you, Gusto is offering employee engagement. They're only offering check-ins. We have 3 components. They have 1. But Gusto is offering employee check-ins as part of their package these days. With Hub's employee engagement, remember, you have check-ins, you have the recognition wall, and you also have the feedback mechanism, the suggestion box. So we're excited about engagement. We hope you are too. It's ready to go. We're ready to get you moving. We'll be able to send you in our follow-up some additional information about it, but it's something I would seriously consider because like Andrew said, it opens up new avenues for you and new revenue streams. So what is coming soon? These are the things that we're actively working on today. First one, remember I said one of our overall goals was always to sort of find other vendors we can work with? Well, we did with WOTC. So we're working with Efficient Forms. And what that means is the WOTC process will be 100% integrated into Flight. I told you we're working on this. Well, let me show you. So I'm going to sign in to my environment here. And this is one of my WOTC test employees. So this employer has the WOTC interview enabled for this new hire. This employee is right at the step. So right now we're asking this employee, we're trying to understand, were they a veteran and did they possibly ever receive food stamps? Because that's one of the target groups in WOTC, right? Free money for the employer if they hire this employee who meets a target group category. Perfect. Great. They get federal tax credits. It's awesome. Get up to $9,600. Oh, by the way, you can get a piece of that too as the payroll provider. So let me say, yep, I'm a veteran. And yes, I did receive food stamps. We're now bringing them through the interview to determine if they potentially fit one of the WOTC categories. So in this case, I say, yep, I've received it in Philadelphia. And if I could type, it would be great. Now we're going to see if they ever needed temporary assistance for needy families, another WOTC target group. No, you know what? I didn't need that. Hey, you ever been in trouble in the law? Are you a felon? Yes, I have. I was in federal. You can see how we're going to bring him through the WOTC process here. This is a native piece of Flight. I think it's important. It's integrated directly into Flight. You can see it looks, smells, feels, everything like Flight. What we do is we capture all the information from the new hire. We fill out the required WOTC forms, the 8850, the 9061. We have the employee electronically sign them. Then, when the employee is being added to payroll, we will send that information over to Efficient Hire. What they will do is they will complete the WOTC processing side on behalf of you and the employer. So they will be the ones that interact with the state, then interact with the IRS to try to have these WOTC cases be awarded. And again, for the employer, it's free money. Federal tax credit, right? Up to $9,600 off my income taxes if I hire an employee that meets one of these categories. Everybody wins here, but it's a native piece of Flight. So that is something that we're working on today. As you saw, I didn't show you any slides. I showed you the actual WOTC system within Flight. That's something that we expect to be released out to everybody in April. If you have interest in that, I would just say get ready to jump on that now. So once it's available, you can get using it. You can talk to me about that. I'd be happy to point you in the right direction there. We're also enhancing the I-9 process in flight. So this will be the electronic completion of Section 2 by the employer, complete with the employer's electronic signature. Huge win. I can't tell you how many times I've heard that, hey, Rick, we really need this in flight. We made it a priority, and it's something that we also expect to be available in April. So not only will the employee come through, complete Section 1 of the I-9, when the employer goes to review the new hire paperwork, they're able to complete Section 2 electronically. They're able to electronically sign it. Huge, huge advancement. We're happy that it's coming and it'll be available in April. One of the last things we have here is in May, we're expecting multi-client administration. So if you have an employer that needs to administer multiple hub companies, they will not need multiple user accounts anymore. They will be able to use one user account and access multiple hub companies for administration. Huge request as well. We had WOTC and the Enhanced I-9 already in play, which is why we put them first, but that is one that will be coming around the May timeframe. So I know I ran pretty close to time here, but as Alyssa said, please use the Q&A window if you do have a question. No question is silly. We will read your question out loud. We will make sure we answer it. It'll benefit everybody in that way. But what to expect next while we wait to see if any questions do come in? We will be able to send follow-up with copies of the slides that Alyssa shared. We do have help and knowledge base articles on some of these release features. We will talk, as I mentioned before, about how to schedule the direct integration of employee updates. I know one or two in this call already have it enabled. Thank you for helping us test it out. Glad it works flawlessly. We can share, if you don't have Hub Rewards, how to get that going. And we will also talk to you about how to get started with employee engagement. There's huge pieces there. So I do see a question or two has come in, but these are some of the follow-up items that we have. Now, great question came in that says, if you're already working with Efficient Hire, does that affect anything with WOTC in flight? The only thing I will say is you probably will need to have a new agreement with Efficient Hire. And the reason why is obviously it's because the WOTC processing initially is coming in through flight. So that may require an extra agreement with Efficient Hire in that respect. Now, the whole WOTC processing, just so you understand, will be exactly the same as what they're doing today. It's just flight is the entry point to collect that information and then get that information over to Efficient Hire to do their magic. Now, I'm glad they're doing what they're doing. I personally would not want to do it. They have to monitor things. They have to calculate what the award should be. They have to interact with the state. Each state, as we all well know, is different. They have to interact with the IRS. They do a fabulous job of all that, which is why we've elected to partner up with them, even though it may seem weird because they have an onboarding solution and we do as well. But again, we're industry vendors. We want the best, what's best for you. So the question is, I wonder if you can transfer the current clients they have on Efficient Hire to Hub and Flight. To me, the answer to that would be sure. I don't see why not. If Hub and Flight are the better fit for that client, I think that makes the most sense. If they're already using Efficient Hire, again, they're just now going to use the system, but they're going to get those WOTC benefits as well. I know a lot of people use Efficient Hire for their WOTC processing, and that's why it was important for us to A, include it in flight, but B, find a vendor that we felt comfortable with. And again, that's something that we are happy about. So that's coming very soon. Again, as you saw on my screen, I wasn't showing you PowerPoints, I was showing you the live actual system. They've been really helpful with us, I must say too. They've been helpful figuring out different process flows and different things that we need. They've been great to work with. So any other questions, please let me know. But remember, some great features that are available today. The Swipe Clock app. You have the checkbox merge tag, the direct integration with ExecuPay for employee updates, always updating Hub Rewards. Last, you have that new employee engagement component. That's huge. Huge employee engagement. I think it's a huge thing, and it's going to help you beat some of your competitors. Then, coming soon, WOTC, Enhanced I-9, multi-client administration. So I joked around again. While you were heads down, we were heads down as well, and this is what we were working on. So if you don't have any other questions, I really appreciate you joining us. If you do, or you just want to catch up with Alyssa or I afterwards, don't hesitate. We'd be happy to help, but we're really excited. We got a lot in play and a lot more to come, and hopefully together we're going to continue to grow.
Okay, all. Thank you so much for your time. Keep a lookout for that handy follow-up I'll be sending. And of course, let us know any questions. And if you want to move forward with anything we talked about, I definitely advise that. Okay, thanks so much. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.